Hello everybody, welcome back. Happy summer. It looks like we're finally gonna get one. I don't know about you, but it didn't take long to start complaining about the heat, did it? Anyway, it is what it is. Happy to see the sun and ready to do some cooking for you. Today we are going to make sweet and sour chicken. It's a really easy version of a favorite Chinese takeout, only without the battering, because that's complicated and who wants to be cooking over hot oil on a day like today. We're gonna do a vegetarian version, actually a vegan version today, but you will have chicken to do yours. So we're gonna use boneless, skinless chicken breasts for this recipe. Here's all the ingredients that we need. We've got the chicken breast, the brown sugar, vinegar, cornstarch, soy sauce, oil, pineapple, salt, pepper, and rice to serve it over, and a yellow pepper. I want to show you, because I know we've talked about how to do the yellow peppers, or the peppers in general. I want to show you again, just so you get an idea, and we'll get that prepped. So you remember, you cut off the bottom, you cut off the top, cut it down the side, open it up by cutting out the ribs, like this. And that way, you have no waste and lots of lovely, usable pepper. And no waste, which is always good. So, and we're just doing a little small version of this today. So we're gonna cut, and then you cut it in half. This way we want nice big chunks. We're gonna dice it up this way. And then that's our peppers all ready for the recipe. This is another really wicked easy recipe for you all to follow. So we're gonna get everything ready ahead of time though. Remember me and my mise en place. First thing we do is, I'm gonna get all the liquids and everything ready. So you've got a tin of pineapple and, oh, sometimes it's hard. This, you know, there was a run on pineapple at the grocery store. I was so surprised. So instead of getting you chunks, I had to get you rings, which is all they had. But you can cut those. So we're gonna dump the liquid into the tin, or into the measuring cup, I should say. And then the recipe tells you to add water so that you have a full cup of liquid. So we're gonna do that. Add a little water to it. And what you're gonna have to do in this case is bring the pineapple rings out and slice them into chunks. That's easy enough to do. They'll cut very easy. You could make this recipe with fresh pineapple if you wanted, and a tin of pineapple juice, because you do need the juice for the sauce. So there, we're just cutting it into chunks. Nice bite-sized chunks of pineapple. And then we're gonna head over to the stove and get going on the rest of it. Okay, so I need my pot. Alrighty, let's take our chicken, our oil, our salt and pepper over here. Turn the frying pan on. Heat it up a little bit. Remember, we talk about always having a cold pan, heat it up, then add your oil. That way your food doesn't stick. I'm also going to cook some rice to have with this. Rice is easy. Double the liquid to the rice. So in this case, I want some leftover rice. So I've got 4 cups of water, salted water, and 2 cups of rice. I'm gonna pop that in there, put the lid back on, because you always cook rice with the lid on. Let it simmer away. Frying pan's heating up here good. So we are going to put some oil in the frying pan. Take out our chicken. Now, these are, vegan chicken patties. They're great. You can cut them up just like regular chunk chicken. We're gonna do the same thing that we did. We're gonna cut them into bite-sized chunks. Your recipe says chicken thighs or boneless, skinless chicken. You are getting boneless, skinless chicken. Cut it up into chunks, season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. Like that. And then pop it into the oil to brown it. Get the cooking process started. So that's all we have to do with that. That sizzle means my pan's nice and hot. The oil's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Nothing's sticking. So this is already cooked. It really isn't going to take long. But for you want to cook it for about 5 or 6 minutes or so just to get it started. You're going to finish cooking it in the sauce. But that's a good way to get it started. Get a little bit of flavor going. Remember, the little brown bits give you something tasty. So I'm gonna let that sit. You can see it's starting to get a little bit brown, which is nice. Little tiny bit. Give it some good flavor. Okay. Coming along. Let's check on our rice. We don't want it to boil over, but we do want it to be simmering. Almost back up again. Maybe turn the heat up a little bit, but I tell you, boiled over rice makes a hot mess on the stove. We don't want to go there. Okay. Give that another minute or so. Chicken thighs have got quite a bit of fat. Of course, fat equals flavor, so that's not the worst thing in the world. If you were making the recipe with thighs, you'd want to drain the fat off before you finish with the sauce. You have, as I said, you have chicken breast, so it'll be nice and lean. There won't be any extra fat, actually. But this is coming along beautifully. Okay. See, now you're getting those nice little brown bits on there. How yummy does that look, eh? Okay. Almost there. Okay, that's good. I'm going to check this again. There, now we're simmering. See that lovely simmer? That's where you want it to stay. So, remember that when you put your lid on, you've got to turn your heat down, because if you don't, it will indeed boil over. Okay. So I think we're good with the chicken. We are going to set that back in here just because I need to set it off to the side. And I should have laid out a bowl, but I didn't. So we're going to use the empty measuring cup. Trying not to make it all over, mess all over the place. Put that back in there where it belongs. Okay, so now we're going to put in the rest of our liquid. So we need to add we've got the pineapple juice here. Actually, just give me a sec. I'm going to turn this off, because the next thing you know, we'll be smoking everywhere. Okay, and now we're going to add the cornstarch. Cornstarch is what's going to make it thick and clear. When you're working with cornstarch, always put it into a cold liquid. So 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Okay. You can see it dissolves nicely. Cornstarch is great like this, but if you put it into a hot liquid, it'll cook right away, and then it's just a disaster. And then we need 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. That goes in there. 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Remember, or did I even ever tell you that when you're measuring brown sugar, you pat it into your cup. You don't do it loose like you do white sugar. You pack it down. So that goes in there. And then a 1/4 cup of vinegar. That's what gives you your sweet and sour combination. I'm gonna dissolve that. Get it all nicely dissolved. Back over to the frying pan. It's great if you've got a lid for your frying pan, because you want to cover this and simmer it a little bit. In goes the sauce. So take note how cloudy it is, and watch what happens as the cornstarch thickens and cooks. You can see it starting already. Those clear bits, that's the cornstarch thickening away. This is a recipe that I ate growing up. My mom always made it when I was a little girl. So she used to make it with hamburger patties. She called it hamburger Hawaiian. We're calling it sweet and sour chicken. But see how it's changing? See how it's getting dark and now it's starting to clear up? That's the cornstarch at work. Getting nice and thick. Perfect. Oh, how fast is that, eh? Killer easy. Wicked, wicked easy. Just like that, you've got sweet and sour sauce. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Now we're going to put in our peppers and our pineapple. Pineapple's gonna make it a little liquidier again. And the peppers. Stir that up. Put your meat back in, and that finishes cooking of the meat. And there you have sweet and sour chicken. How easy is that? So your next step is to put a lid on it, let it simmer for 15 minutes or so until your peppers are nice and soft, and serve it over a bowl of rice. And yeah, that's dinner, super easy. So again, you know, we talked about you could put tofu in there, you can use the vegan chicken if you want. It's great with meatballs, it's great with pork, red peppers, green peppers, yellow peppers. You could throw some chopped onions in it if you like. If you really want to get fancy, it would be, you could put some broccoli in it, you could put some cauliflower, anything along those lines. But this is pretty standard sweet and sour that we all know and love when we go to Sky Dragon for dinner. So, except it's not red. I don't know how they make it red. I don't know that I want to know how they make it red. But this still tastes like pink sauce, like my kids used to call it. So there you go, my friends. I hope you enjoy that. Let me know what you've done with it, how you've made it your very own, and I hope that you and your family have a good meal. And I will see you all next week. Bye.